On this video, we're going to show you this valve that's on these Dometic toilets, the 300s, 310s, 320s, I think the 330s. Mine has the actual porcelain toilet in it. I think it's the 310. But anyway, this valve, like I said, there's plenty of videos out there that show people changing them out. So I'm not really going to get into much about how I changed it, except for a few odd and ends that I do as I take it out. The main thing, I have a way I want to show you once I get this valve out. This is actually the old one, but on my video I'll show you me taking it out, and I'm going to show you how you can detect if this is froze or not, or where else it can be leaking from. So stand by and we'll get to that. And again, there's plenty of videos that show how to take this out. Relatively easy, cheap part, $9 on Amazon. If you're going to your parts place, they're very expensive, so don't buy one there. I went to one of my local RV stores and they wanted $75 for this. So now, sure, a lot of the places have showed how to do this, but you basically have to push in these tabs to bring it out. Be careful, sometimes they break. And like I say, I did the bottom first, and then did the top, and it pops out like this here. And I need to disconnect this, and this is where it leaks, unless it cracks around this bowl. But we're going to look at it real close when we get it off and see what we got. So if you want to know if it was the valve that was actually leaking or had froze at some point, the valve manufacturer has built a special feature in here, and I'll show you here. If you look at here, you'll see this little area right here is a thinner piece of plastic, and it's designed to where if it freezes, it's going to bust that little piece of plastic first. And if you look in there, not sure if you can see it, but you'll see there's actually some water in there, and I'm going to dry it out and see if it comes back. So in my case, I'm not sure if freezing was the problem. It didn't seem to come back, but then the water's probably not under pressure, so that's where you want to look. And if you look, the other place is basically you have O-rings here and O-rings here, and what happens down here at this end, this is where the other place, that after those O-rings get wore out, they can leak out of this end piece here under pressure. Like I say, you push that, and normally you'll get a little bit of grease out of there, but you shouldn't get water. And I think I'm getting water, it looks like. Yeah, I'm getting water out of that end. So that should not be doing that. So that's probably where my issue was. And like I say, these things are $9. So they're not built that well. And truth be known is the way the toilets are designed, they really shouldn't be leaking. There's nothing to them. It basically, water comes just like this. Water comes in this way. And this is your valve. It hits down here. It releases that water to go around the rim. Other than the holes from here to the top, and that's something frees inside of your actual commode at the top, that's all gravity fed. So really there shouldn't be any water in there. So this is really the only bad piece that could go bad, and it's relatively cheap. So that's the good thing about it. So it comes with this little piece here that you can screw in, and so we'll see how this is going to work. If it doesn't, then I'll put PEX on it. So there's my new piece. Well, I'm not going to get into the installation of this. There's plenty of videos out there that do the installation. So again, it's in there. I put the one screw in there. I just used the clamp they came with, and it works fine. So we're going to leave this pressurized for a little bit and see how well it does. Looks like it's working well. Again, I just wanted to show you where that bust feature is, if you have a frozen part. But like I say, it can leak from expanding, and it also can leak from that little end piece. Also, if your water comes out all the time, you also want to replace this. So if you saw me when I was changing out this valve on the toilet, I think it was leaking, but we also had another problem, is that This has this flex line that goes into this. Like I said, this has been cut out now, but this flex line goes into the base of this fitting here, and the PEX doesn't work very well on these flex lines. So if you ever have these, this is not a these are PEX fittings, and they need to work on PEX plastic, not these lines they have in here. And it started leaking right here where it goes into the actual threads on here that go into the valve. We tried to get that to stop and never could get it. So we finally we got our actual PEX connectors. I got this kit. I think I got this on Amazon. I think it's like $35. It's good to have this anyway, so I wanted to get that. And like I say, we tried to get that another piece on there, and we couldn't cut this back because you can see how it's bent in right there. We cut it. We were going to cut it back, but there wasn't enough hose, so we decided to go ahead and redo all that with PEX. And I'll show you what I got in here, how it turned out. So when you come into the bathroom here, now this is the older FD model before they moved the commode over here, right here. The older ones were over here in a caddy corner, and you had this wooden piece that covers all your plumbing down here. And all it requires is you to cut the sealant along the edges, and you have one screw on each side, and then there was one screw that ran through from the inside of this cabinet that held that in place. So once you pull that loose, you see what you have here. You have a PEX. Those blue PEX are the one goes to the shower and one goes to the actual to this sink and to the toilet here. And you have a red one, of course, is for your hot water. So what we did, as you'll see here, we took the actual T they already had here, and we went ahead and ran new PEX. And we went ahead and put a shut-off valve in here. We put a 90 on here, and it ran it into a threaded section right here. So we were going to do a flex line, but we were just a little concerned that would work properly in here, so we went ahead and just put it all in PEX. I think this is the best way to go with this. I like that we have a shut-off valve for that now. So that's how we work this out. And I'll show you when we get this all put back together. You'll hardly notice anything other than you'll see this piece here. Before it just had the one flex line that was right here. Now it's got this piece here. So we finally got that done. It looks like this is the end result. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but we know it won't leak. That's the main thing. So got the trim piece put back on here. Everything looks pretty good. I like it because we have that shut-off valve now. So that's about all I have for this project. Like I say, if you have leaking problems, again, try the valve. If the valve ain't working, and then eventually you may have to redo that flex line because it just starts leaking around those PEX connectors. So you have to end up changing it out. So I joined it right into the T of the other PEX, and looks like it's gonna work out good. So that's about all I have, and we'll see you on another one.